heart beats faster, what else happens? Yeah, yeah, you can begin to shake. What else? What's that? You sweat. What else? Yeah, your mouth gets really dry. Your hands get cold. It's almost every symptom I currently have. What else? Yeah, so you have to understand how your body reacts to anxiety. Can someone tell me why I'm saying that? Why do you have to understand how your body signals anxiety? That's right. It's self-awareness. Because that's the first thing. If you become aware, uh-oh, I'm about to get more anxious, then some of the activities I'm going to give you now can become useful to you. You can begin to apply them and stop the anxiety from visiting you further. Okay. So also understand your patterns, your thoughts, your situations. Look at that comic strip here on having an awesome positive attitude. The top two. So the first one, thanks for returning my wallet. So obviously this young boy here returned the wallet to this man, and he says, thank you for returning my wallet. It had $1,000 in it. And then look at the one on the right. Thanks for returning my wallet. It had $1,000 in it. You look at the expression on the face of the boy. Tell me about the left one versus the right one. And tell me, I want you to create a scenario for me. What's going on in the mind of that boy on the left versus on the right? What could be going on? Yeah. Did you say that? Who said that? Okay, the left one?
Yeah, should have kept the wallet.
So tell me before the thought, tell me the feeling that you might have.
Like in the guy?
Yeah, no, and the boy. Yes.
Regret.
Regret. And the thought that is connected to that regret is exactly as you said. Sorry, your name? Hero. Hero is saying there is regret, and the thought related to that is I should have kept the wallet. Not that Hero is thinking this way. No, of course not. No, of course not. Okay. How about the right one? Same situation. What's happening with the right picture? Do you see what the older guy is doing? What is the older guy doing? He's giving him a reward. So the first one is saying, I'm only having like $10 when I could have kept $1,000. Regret. He's not feeling very good. Probably very anxious, thinking, what a stupid person I am. You know, I never really learned from my other friend because he's good and he gets, you know, all these wonderful things in life, and I seem to be silly and stupid. Okay, the second guy is taking the $10. Tell me, what is he feeling? What is he thinking?
Satisfied.
He's satisfied. That's the feeling. And the thought, he's happy. That's another feeling. Sorry? He got rewarded, so he feels rewarded. And the thought is what? He had a positive attitude. He said, wow, amazing. That's amazing. $10? Well, I was with nothing. Found a lost wallet. Don't believe in stealing. $10, that's better than nothing. Look at the second two pictures. Here's a girl, I think that's her teacher maybe, says you didn't get the lead in the play, but you did get a part in the chorus. Same situation. The girl on the left is happy. What would make her happy?
She could have not gotten a part at all.
Sorry?
She could have not gotten a part at all.
Yeah, yes. I'm at least not completely out of the play. I've got the chorus. The second one looks very sad and upset, and her hand her hand is up here on her forehead, and she's sad. Same situation. Actually, these are real cases. I don't know if it happened to you, but if you go and audition for something and you want this role, and you give it another role, some of you say, yeah, good, great, I'm excited. And another person will say what? This is unbelievable, they all hate me, no one likes me, I'm a failure. Why? Because of the attitude. And this is the point of those pictures. Have an awesome, positive attitude. Your thoughts create your life experience. And this is very important. Some people say, oh, but I feel bad. Okay, what are your thoughts? I don't know, but I feel bad. So hold on. Can you stop your feel bad and connect it to what your mind is telling you? Because our emotions are born to our thoughts. And our thoughts give rise to emotions, and emotions, guess what they do? They fuel our behavior. Say, after I reacted and after I calmed down, I thought my behavior wasn't appropriate. After you calm down, but at the moment you let your emotions dictate what? Your behavior. So, have a positive attitude. Your attitude or the way you think about things is one of the most powerful tools you have to help you prevent and manage feelings of anxiety. I want to read the scenario for you, the example of Tristan and John. Tristan and John were training for the school's big cross-country meet. They decided to meet at the field house at noon on Saturday to turn a 10-mile course through the surrounding neighborhoods. Saturday turned out to be the hottest, most humid day of the summer. This story is obviously happening either in our summer or somewhere in the south. The boys laid out their course and then started off. About 1/3 of the way through, both boys were really feeling the heat, but they didn't want to stop because they needed the training. They kept running, getting hotter and thirstier with every step. By the time they were 2/3 of the way through, all that either of them could think about was a cool drink of water, of course. When they finally hit the last stretch, they were hotter than ever, and their clothes were drenched with sweat. Upon reaching back to the school, they both ran straight for the drinking fountain, only to find that it wasn't working. There was no drinking water at all, except for a half-full water bottle sitting next to the fountain. Tristan had left it there before they started their run. Both boys looked at the same water bottle, and both had different reactions. Tristan said, "Oh man, I'm so glad I left this water bottle here. It's just half full, but that's better than nothing. Gee, are we lucky to have this?" Tristan's attitude made him feel thankful and peaceful. John looked at the very same water bottle and said, "Oh no, I can't believe this is all we have. This is terrible. I could drink 10 full bottles myself. And all we have is a half of one bottle." John's attitude made him feel anxious. Same situation, same issues. What is the difference? The way you see the world. The way you see the world. If your parents, for example, see you as a challenge to them, they're always going to fight with you. If they see you as someone growing and becoming your own, they're going to be cheering you. See, even our parents' perception can affect the way they deal with us. Same thing with anxiety. If you look at your parents and feel that they're always against you, guess what you're going to do? You're going to always be against them. But if you feel that your parents, out of maybe fear, are trying to protect you, your perception is going to change the way you act. So, let's get to becoming aware of negative thoughts. I think I put 3 here for you. The first one is all or nothing thinking. All these thoughts, by the way, will produce anxiety. The first one is called all or nothing thinking. All or nothing thinking is the tendency to judge things in extremes or black and white categories. So this is a person who thinks in extremes. It's irrational. It's very irrational thinking, and we all fall into it. And it's irrational because reality is not black and white. A lot of things in reality are not black and white. Judging yourself in this way will make you anxious. So, for example, you're always afraid that if you do not achieve perfection, which is one extreme, you will be a complete failure. So someone thinking, unless I get, the highest mark in my class or my group, I'm a complete failure. Or what did you get? I got a 93, but other people got 94, 95, 99, 96. And what does that make you? It makes me a failure. Some Egyptians are prone to that thinking, by the way. Yeah, because we want to achieve, right? It's like the joke, very common joke, where a person gets 98%, and the mom and dad they say what? Where is the 2%? Or, you know what? Sometimes it's not mom and dad who's saying it. Who's saying it? Yourself. Huh? And if you're not saying it, maybe you're saying it inside. You're telling yourself, okay? Yes.
So what do you do if you're trying to keep yourself positive, but then your family, because they have that perfect expectations, they keep on bringing you down? They think about what happened to 2%, what happened to the 7%, the 5% bonus, including that.
You didn't get the bonus?
Yeah, exactly. So how do you deal with that?
How do you deal with it? As a university student?
Like the outside world is forcing anxiety on you, even though you're trying to be good and be positive.
People may always pressure us with things, and if you're younger, you're more vulnerable, right? But you can take what they're saying and say, you know what, it's something to think about. You want to be very respectful to your parents, right? Or sometimes say, Mom, Dad, you know what, I can do better. I will try and do better, but I'm okay with what I have. But, Mom and Dad, I know I'm going to try to do better, but I'm okay with what I have. But, Mom and Dad, I know sometimes you have to be a broken record, okay? But don't lose your respect for your parents. No matter, even if you completely disagree with what they're saying, the respect has to remain there. And maybe what they're saying requires you to think about what they're saying. Maybe there is a point to it. But if it's really extreme, you have to set an emotional boundary around yourself and say, you know what, Mom and Dad, they just care so much. They care so much. Here is a positive attitude. Mom and Dad, you tell yourself that, Mom, they just care so much. They want me to be perfect because they always want to see me perfect. But it's okay, I am not perfect, and it's okay. You gotta tell yourself that. That's if you're getting good marks. If you're getting 70s or 60s, and Mom and Dad are saying, don't say that. I'm saying, you know what, Mom and Dad, they're right. They're absolutely 100% right. I know, because I know that my words can be taken the wrong ways. So I'm trying to be careful. Okay, overgeneralizing is a second thought. It's an automatic negative thought that can produce anxiety. And this is when you assume that because you had one negative experience in the past, that you will always continue to have negative experience. So, I went to church and I felt like I was looking over my shoulders and I didn't feel like I was welcome. Can you try again? No, it's going to happen again. Really? Not necessarily. Not true. Okay? You will always, this feeling of the future is as the past is a very dooming thought. Be careful. That's when you catch yourself using words like always. I am always not good for my parents. Really? Not once did they tell you something good? Oh yeah, well no, sometimes they do. Yeah, but did you hear what you just said? I am always not good. So key words to notice if you're using overgeneralizing or overgeneralization thoughts: always, never, no one likes me. No one likes me. In this family, no one likes me. Really, you just got a gift yesterday from your sister. What are you talking about? Oh, but then when you say that, oh, but they got the gift because they have to. You start, because of your perception, you begin to create your own world. Huh? Everyone. It's an all or not thinking. Should statements. Now that's an interesting one. Should statements. Guess what? We are surrounded with should statements. Some of them are good, some of them are not good. So, should could be appropriate and could be inappropriate. And I'm going to give you some examples and you tell me in which examples are they appropriate and which they're not. So Brandon was frequently anxious because so many of his thoughts used the word should. When he was riding the bus, pay attention to that. When he was riding the bus to school, he thought, I should be using this time on the bus to study. When he was at a chess club meeting, he thought, I should be in a sport instead. It would be so much cooler. When his bike chain broke and he didn't know how to fix it, he thought, I should be more competent and know how to fix this myself. When he failed a math test because he had gone to a baseball game instead of learning the material, he thought, I should have studied harder for this test. So you tell me. I'll take one at a time and tell me whether this is an appropriate should or inappropriate should and why. I should be using this time to study on the bus. So he's coming back from school, he's on the bus, he said, I should be studying, using this time to study. Appropriate, inappropriate, and why? Put your hand up. You seem like you want to answer it. Yeah.
It's appropriate.
It's appropriate. What? Give me the reasons.
Because it's a free time that he could finish some work that gives him some time.
It's a free time, he could finish some work. Okay?
I say it's not good.
It's not good.
I would say you should use that time to relax before the test.
You should relax on the
Before the test.
Okay, so you're thinking that this is on his way to the school, on his way to school. Okay. What if I were to tell you, and I'm going to add a bit of a piece of information. What if I were to tell you that Brandon spends several hours each night on his homework, and his grades are pretty good? Would that be an appropriate should or inappropriate should? It becomes a bit easier. Huh? Good grades. Yeah. It's an inappropriate should. He could be relaxing on the bus. He could be listening to music. Good music. I know. I have to be careful. Good music. And he could be sleeping on the bus. Right? He studies for several hours. So some of this should here, it's almost like closed. He feels like he needs to relax and close his eyes, but his mind is telling him, you should study. You should have studied, or you should study instead. However, I should be in a sport instead of playing chess. It would be so much cooler. Inappropriate. Why?
Because it's like if he likes chess, and he should enjoy it. Like you should be thankful that he's in a team and he enjoys it. You shouldn't be thinking like, oh, he's
Okay.
going to this school.
Yeah. If I were to add that piece of information to you that he was thinking about his friends and what would be cool to them, then it's still inappropriate. It's inappropriate. The next one. I should be more competent and know how to fix my bike by myself. What do you think? Appropriate, inappropriate? You go both ways? Yeah. As long as you don't expect that Brandon should know everything. Right? Like if my bike breaks and I don't know how to fix it, some of us here would say, I don't have to know. I don't have to know. And others would say, my cousin knows, I should know. Like there's a bit of a comparison here. This is inappropriate should. How about the last one? I should have studied harder for this test. This is inappropriate too.
He had a whole bus ride to baseball.
He had a whole bus ride, absolutely. I know. So, anybody thinks this is an appropriate should, just for the sake of sanity? It is an appropriate one because instead of preparing for his test, what did he do? He went to a baseball game. He didn't study. He should have studied. This is an appropriate should. Just be careful. Because sometimes we're so surrounded with shoulds that we become so anxious. I should perform. I should do well in school. I should respect. I should do that. I should do this. And after a while, we cannot do it. Appropriate shoulds are good. Inappropriate shoulds are not good. Now let's get into the helpful activities. I'm going to mention 10 of them, and I'm going to go through them quite quickly. When you get visited with anxiety, I want you to learn to do either all 10 of those, or at least some of those. So think of this as a toolbox. You're learning a skill now, where when those thoughts come to you, you can do one of those. The first one is called thought stopping. Thought stopping. So, here's an example. Diana, who worries because her dad flies twice the amount he used to at work, and she's afraid of flying. She gets these thoughts that something bad might happen to her dad as he's flying, which increases her anxiety and holds her back from studying, watching TV, or focusing while talking to her friends. Obviously, this is not a useful anxiety. So what does Diana need to do? She needs to learn to say stop. Stop, to say that. So, this is a thought that is very unhelpful. You can say stop to it. Some people imagine a stop sign in their own minds. Other people push their hands out like this to stop the thought. Some people, they say it in their mind, stop it. I'm not thinking this way. Other people would put a rubber band around their wrist, and when the bad negative thought comes, they just snap it. That's the way they learn to stop it this way. Giving your head a quick shake, as if you're shaking off the thought, off your head. Whatever appropriate manner or gesture you could do it and don't allow the thought to stop. You know, the fathers say that thoughts are like a bird trying to build its own nest on top of your head. And the bird, have you ever seen a bird make a nest? That happened in my house last summer. And I thought it was cute. Unfortunately, I should have thought this way. I should not have thought this way, and I tell you what. Come and see the nest now in my house. First, the bird would come and would put one straw and would leave. And I could have gone out and taken that straw out. The bird came back and put another straw. In less than 2-3 days, about 3 days, the full nest was built. So the fathers tell us that negative thoughts are evil thoughts are like a bird putting a straw. If you keep one straw, it will build to become a nest, and the whole bird will come and will nest there. But if you were to remove one straw at a time, the bird will not come back eventually. The bird will not come back eventually. So you've got to learn to stop the thought. Consciously exchange the anxious thought with a peaceful one. You can pray the Jesus prayer, very powerful. Lord Jesus Christ, take away the thought from me. Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. To be more confident, to say to yourself, I'm confident. I may not be certain, and it's okay. It's almost like a phrase you get, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't need to know. Other people will say, I don't know what's going to happen, but God knows, so I don't need to worry. That's fine. You can imagine yourself laughing with friends, just to exchange the thoughts, listening to calming music, going out to exercise, going to the gym, running,